Hey everyone, welcome to our first predictions video of the 2024 college football season. First opening week is finally here. We have our week 0 games. We have 4 games this Saturday, August the 24th. We're going to look over every single game, try to predict the outcome for them, look at the spreads, the money lines, and the over-unders. Go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. If you have any comments, drop them below. We are going to be going over every single game every week during the college football season, and we'll also be doing the same thing for every NFL game once the NFL season starts as well. But the big thing is we need to rejoice. The season is starting. We've been waiting for a long time, and we have some opening games kicking things off for our 2024 season. Let's go ahead and get things started. So we are glad it's here. The very first game we have coming up this week, Saturday, August 24th, at 12 p.m. on ESPN, we have number 10 Florida State opening the season versus Georgia Tech. This game is going to be in Ireland for some reason. I don't really know why they picked Florida State versus Georgia Tech. It really seems like this should have been a Notre Dame game, but nonetheless, Florida State playing Georgia Tech in Dublin, Ireland. Looking at what Vegas has Florida State favored by 11 and the over-under at 55.5. So when I'm looking at this game, we have two teams that are kind of in pretty interesting places. We all know what happened to Florida State to finish the 2024 season. Florida State goes 13-0. They win the ACC. They're undefeated. Jordan Travis gets hurt towards the end of the season. They bump them out of the Final Four, even though they won their conference, and they inserted Alabama. So obviously, Florida State kind of got gypped out of making the playoffs last year. They went to play the bowl game, and they played Georgia, where they were curb stomped, but pretty much their whole team of starters set. Now, I would say that this is a bit of a revenge game starting out the 2024 season. They want to right the wrongs. They want to show that they should have made the playoffs last season, but pretty much every starter from last season's gone. So I really don't know who is there to kind of want some revenge. You have Norvell back, but he's been working the portal hard. He's been bringing in a lot of fresh new starters, especially DJU coming in as the quarterback. He's a quarterback that's very familiar with the ACC conference here. He understands Georgia Tech. He understands the field. Good, solid quarterback. He's not going to be a game changer, but he's not going to cost you the game. He's going to make the plays when you need him to make the plays. Mike Norvell has been loading up this roster. They have the number 11 class coming into this season. They've been bringing in top 15 recruiting classes and top 10 transfer portal classes every single season. This is a top 15 overall college football roster, but a lot of guys are gone. Jordan Travis is gone. Benson's gone. Keon Coleman's gone. So a lot of fresh blood coming in here, but they need to be able to cement themselves. Now, one thing Florida State did really well last season is they ran the ball really well. Look for Norvell. He wants to keep the ball on the ground. He wants to ground and pound. They have the talent to be able to do that on this team. They have the running back Williams. He's going to be leading the way on the ground. You have the wide receiver Benson. He's going to be looking to be DJU security blanket. For Georgia Tech, they have a top running back in the ACC. They have Haynes coming in. He had 1,100 yards last season, 6.1 yards per carry. Georgia Tech ran for 204 yards. They're going to be looking to ground and pound, but you're running right into Florida State's strength, which is always their D-line, led by Patrick. So Florida State's the favorite here. It's easy to kind of go with Florida State not being able to cover a new team out of the country, but I have Florida State starting out the year with a win, winning this one versus Georgia Tech 33-20. So I have them covering the spread, but I will be going with the under. It's Georgia Tech's a really good team. Don't underestimate them and King. Solid running back game with Haynes. I think they'll be able to keep the game somewhat close, but Florida State's just too talented. They're going to win the game. The next game that we're going to be taking a look at 4 p.m. on Fox Sports, we have Montana State, an FCS team, versus New Mexico, an FBS team. Kind of the rare game because the FCS team, Montana State, is actually favored. Vegas has them favored by 10.5, and the over-under is 53.5. With New Mexico, so this is Bronco Mendenhall's team. But this is going to be a really hard rebuild. This is a team that hasn't won more than 4 games since 2016. They're not a good team. He might get them there, but it is a massive rebuild. And Montana State is actually a very solid FCS team led by quarterback Tommy Mellott. They can score. They have a solid defense. New Mexico last season, they weren't good on offense, and they were giving up over 35 a game on defense. So there's a lot to work on there. I'm going to go with Montana State winning this one 35-23. So I have them covering, and I will be going with the over. The next game that we'll be looking at 8 p.m. on CBS is actually one of the games that, next to the Florida State game, that I'm the most excited about. We have SMU, new to the ACC, versus Nevada. This game is going to be in Nevada. You have SMU obviously being favored here by 27, a massive spread versus an FBS team. So Vegas does have this game being a high-scoring blowout game, SMU obviously being the favorite team here, and you really know why. So Nevada's just not very good at all. They're not good on offense. They're not good on defense. So there's a reason why they are expected to get blown out in this game by so much. They lost 10 games back-to-back seasons. I think they went 2-10 each of the last two seasons. SMU, I think it's a massive injustice that they're actually not starting out this year ranked. They were a 10 or 11 win team last season, a top 30 offense, a top 30 defense. Very solid team. They have weapons at every position. Quarterback Preston Stone's back. Running back Knighton's back. They have the defensive end Roberts. He's back. He's going to lead the defense. This team is going to come into the ACC to me, and they're probably going to win 8 or 9 games. Very solid team in all facets, led by Rhett Lashley. They averaged 38.7 points a game last season, 17.8 points per game given up on defense. Nevada just atrocious on all sides, only scoring 17.3 points per game and giving up 33.4 points per game. I have SMU winning this one. 45-17. This team is very good. Be on the lookout for them in the ACC. I have them covering, and I will be going with the over. And our final game, 11:59 on Saturday. They have it at 11:59 because if they do it at 12 Hawaii time, then it's technically a Sunday game. They don't want that. But 11:59, we have Delaware State FCS versus Hawaii, which is also an FBS matchup. Another high-scoring, big spread game. Hawaii favored by 38.5. The over-under 56.5. That is a massive spread, almost a 40-point spread. Once you get in the numbers that big, it's really hard to kind of compute that because Hawaii would basically have to beat the crap out of Delaware, who's completely traveling almost across the globe to play Hawaii. Looking at their stats from last season, Delaware State averages 18 a game, gives up 37.7 points a game. Hawaii averaged 21.4 points a game, giving up 32.2 points a game. This will be a high-scoring one. I have Hawaii winning this one 44-18. So I have them winning the game. I do not have them covering that big spread, but I will be going with the over. So that's our breakdown of our Week 0 games. Obviously, Week 1 is going to be next weekend. We have some massive games coming up. Really looking forward to that. Go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe, and we'll all be able to keep up with the spreads, the money lines, and the over-unders. It's just 4 games this weekend, but we're just glad that college football is back. Thank you.